The following is a special presentation of the National Lacrosse League.
They say there's no place like home. Tonight, the Georgia Swarm return home to Sting City for the first time in a month. And they do so by taking on an Eastern Division rival. Tonight, it's the expansion side, the New York Riptide, visiting the Georgia Swarm. And hello again, everybody. Thanks for joining us right back here on your home for the National Lacrosse League, BR Live. Back alongside my broadcast partner, Brandon Joseph, in the Valentine's Day feel, in the crushed red velvet. Well, me, I'm merely Chris Mooneyham. I feel like I should fan you in that jacket
Feel it,
tonight.
feel it.
Oh, I did feel it when we got here today. I couldn't believe you decided to wear it, yet you did. Well, we're all excited about tonight, in all truthfulness and all seriousness. This is a big ball game, especially for the Georgia Swarm, for the Riptide as well. They feel like they're turning the corner. Riptide at 1-8 on the campaign. That one win, of course, coming against the Georgia Swarm. And, well, their keeper was good that night.
Yeah, Alex Bouquet, what a great job against the Georgia Swarm. His goal allow average is on par with the rest of the league. It's just really the problem with the offense in front of him. Defense this time has let him down. He's seen a lot of shots this season, but look at those stats against the Swarm. Something about Alex Bouquet versus the Swarm, he just stands on his head, and he's 5'10", but he is really healthy, really athletic, and really able to go from goalpost to goalpost and be agile when they need him to be.
Yeah, Bouquet 3-2 in his last 6 appearances against the Georgia Swarm. A Swarm club that is now 4-3 on the campaign. They won their first 2 ball games, then lost 3 in a row, and then, well, since they've won 2 in a row. One big reason why, the play of Shane Jackson.
Yeah, Shane Jackson has led this team throughout the season, 3rd in the league in goals, and he's just done phenomenal in creating opportunities for himself and also playing off of the opportunities created by Randy Stotts and Lyle and Miles Thompson.
And the Swarm coming into this campaign were potentially looking for a number 3 scorer as Holton Katoni moved on to Rochester. Shane Jackson has certainly fit that mold. You know, I said at preseason that I thought he was going to have a big-time season. Never did I think he would do this. Tabitha Turner sat down with another big-time Swarm player, Randy Stotts.
Well, Randy, I'm going to start off by addressing the elephant in the room. I mean, the last time the Swarm played the Riptide, you guys gave them their first historical win in franchise history and the only win of the season. How's that been sitting with the team so far, and what were some of the lessons learned from that game?
Yeah, I think it's obviously not good. I think our lesson learned was not to take them lightly, or anyone lightly in this league. There's a lot of parity, and I think we just got to play a full 60.
Speaking of full 60s, I mean, you guys are returning off the road 3 games. 2 of them went into overtime. All 3 of the games were decided by 1 point, or 1 goal, should I say. I mean, does it kind of feel like the Swarm are playing the lacrosse, the style of lacrosse that you guys are playing or used to playing?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we're just getting back to what we do, you know, moving the ball on offense, you know, pushing in transition and playing good, solid defense. And I think those close games are going to be a good lesson for us down the stretch.
Tonight is Alex Bouquet, the goalie. It's his 100th career game. I mean, offensively, what's it going to take to score on him tonight and send him home unhappy?
Hopefully we get him pulled. But I think, you know, just shooting around him, getting him to move side to side, swinging the ball on offense, and trying to put it past him.
Well, good luck tonight, Randy. And fans, don't go anywhere. Face Off is up next right after these messages.
The NLL on BR Live, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. The national anthem has come to a close here at Sting City in Metro Atlanta. We'll be headed down to the floor here in just a moment to join Tabitha Turner. So the New York Riptide into this ball game at 1-8, looking to add to their inaugural season win total, last in the league in goals scored, allowing over 14 per ball game. So they're struggling on both sides. They're scoring, I beg your pardon, shy of 9, they're allowing more than 14. 1-8 record, 3-game losing streak under head coach Reggie Thorpe. Reggie Thorpe, of course, no stranger to Ed Cuomo over on the other side of things. Thorpe serves as the head coach and the general manager of the New York squad. Meanwhile, the Georgia Swarm at 4-3 overall. They've won 2 straight. Let's head now to the inactives for our ball game. Brendan, anything you see of consequence here?
Well, you know, with the Georgia Swarm, Kaysen Terabell, he's not playing tonight. Matt Dunn, he's played very sparingly this year. And then on the other side, New York Riptide, Travis Longboat, he's going to be a critical part. 2 goals missing from the New York Riptide team.
Our inactives brought to you by BetMGM, and now down to the floor, and Tabitha Turner.
Shane, Coach Camo has been stressing the importance of finishing games. What's the game plan tonight for the Swarm to not only take control, but keep control for a full 60 minutes?
Yeah, we want to get to our game right away, and just like you said, do it for a full 60 minutes. We know how we want to play, so it's just a matter of getting to that quickly and then going from there.
Thanks, Shane. Good luck tonight, guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Tabitha. So Sting City alive as the Swarm return home for the first time in a month. And what a tumultuous, well, I suppose you'd say nearly first half of the season. Now 7 games into the campaign, 18-game slate, 2-game winning streak to start the campaign, then a 3-game losing streak right in the middle, and then the 2 big wins, and I mean very, very big. You took out the front running New England Black Wolves at Mohegan Sun, and then you were able to go into the city of brotherly love and take out Philadelphia to get back-to-back wins.
Yeah, let's highlight that New England win in overtime. The Swarm scored the final 3 goals in regulation just to even force overtime. And, of course, it was Miles Thompson with the game winner in that game. That was a back-and-forth overtime.
And so now it is possible, via percentage points at least, depending on what happens this weekend, the Georgia Swarm can move into first place in the East Division. Once again, back alongside Tabitha Turner and Brandon Joseph, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for tuning in. Joining us on BR Live, your home for the National Lacrosse League in 2020. And thanks to those of you that are joining us in the Metro Atlanta area on the Fan 680, 93.7 FM. You got a couple of fan men on the broadcast this evening. Lyle Thompson, his opening touch, tries to send a ground ball screamer that goes to the left of Bouquet. The Swarm in their base blue uniforms with the yellow trim. Stotts careens in on Bouquet. That shot is errant. Riptide in some really clean white uniforms. Boy, Brandon and I were talking about it before the ball game. Love these away uniforms for the Riptide.
Yeah, of course, they take their inspirations from the place where they share the arena, the New York Islanders, out there on Long Island. And, of course, looking fresh as always with that blue and that orange.
Mike Poulin makes his first real save of the ball game with his right arm. Kicks it off to the side. New York has it back. Another save by Poulin. Into the numbers now. No, I'm sorry. You go ahead, Brandon. I'll dive into the numbers in a moment.
Dan Lomas cut through in the middle, unmarked. That's where the Swarm want to prevent. A couple times this year they've had lapses in defense, and it's been allowing guys to streak unmarked through, coming off of screens unchecked. That's where the Swarm want to sure up to make sure they don't find themselves in a deficit because they've been playing poor defense.
Paul Jordan, a left-handed overhead ripper that does not connect. Loose ball picked up by Lyle Thompson. What a year he's had on loose balls, by the way. If you haven't been following it, he's turning in one of his great all-time seasons on loose balls, Lyle Thompson is. 44 on the year before that last pickup, and that leads his club. One of the great scorers in our league, leading his club in loose balls as well. So New York defensively last in the league in scoring defense, allowing 14.1 goals per ball game. Also, they've struggled on the penalty kill, dead last in the league in that category as well, 41%. They've allowed the most power play goals in the league, so we'll watch that storyline as things unfold. Behind the net, work back around to the top, not quite at the point, but Shane Jackson going to put a shot on top of Bouquet. The big guy makes a save, and he's looked good so far. Alex Bouquet going to be a big key in this ball game tonight.
Yeah, we talked about in pregame how well he plays versus the Georgia Swarm, and if he can replicate that tonight and the New York Riptide can find some offense, they can get the sweep of the Georgia Swarm. But the Swarm became prepared, and you heard Randy Stotts talking with our very own Tabitha Turner pregame about not having that lapse, and maybe they may have looked past New York a little bit in that first contest, underestimated them. That's not going to happen tonight. And early on in this contest, what the Georgia Swarm has really capitalized on was second and third chance opportunities off of rebounds that Alex Bouquet has allowed. If that continues in this game, the Swarm are going to have plenty of opportunities just to clean up the trash and try to get some goals that way.
Loose ball picked up by the Riptide, no push. Now in transition, offensively New York. Also last in the league, averaging 8.9 goals per ball game, I beg your pardon. 8th on the power play. They've been a little bit better on the power play, and some of those teams are kind of crunched in together, and now they have the opening salvo of the ball game. The Riptide score first here in Atlanta. Believe that's Tyler Digby. Yes, indeed it is.
Yeah, Tyler Digby came unmarked through, and that's what we talked about on a couple of possessions previous from New York. They just find Digby, the cutting man, through unchecked, and he gets a clean look and was just able to go right past Mike Poulin on that right side.
Tyler Digby collects his 13th goal of the campaign, now up to 34 points on the year. Digby, 20-plus goals in 5 of the previous 6 seasons. Spent last year in New England with the Black Wolves, went for 27 and 45. Digby has had a fine campaign. Big to get that first one on the road against one of the championship caliber squads in this league if you're New York.
Well, yeah, they want to make the Georgia Swarm play from behind, and I think that was their big thing. Keep it in contact, and that's how they ended up winning that game in overtime. They kept the game in contact, and they were able to capitalize late and get a run of goals to force overtime and then ultimately win it in overtime.
Big loose ball there, scooped up by Poulin. The Poulin wall has been good despite giving up the 1 goal here early. And the Swarm have it back. Meanwhile, Georgia offensively now. 11.7 goals per contest. That's number 3 in the league. Here's another threat. They'll say that Zach Miller was in the crease and the save was made by Bouquet. And so once again, stand up defensively for Bouquet in the defense.
Yeah, great job by Bouquet, forcing Zach Miller to go which way the goalie wanted to defend. Zach Miller left with little option there on that shot attempt. Good defense overall by the New York Riptide.
Good contact by the Swarm to disrupt a potential pass. Here's an outlet. Bomberry. Brandon Bomberry on the floor today, well, at times anyway, with his cousin.
And remember last year when the two cousins matched up, it got pretty physical between the teams. Brendan Bomberry got roughed up, and then at the end of the contest, Tyson Bomberry was the one getting roughed up by the Georgia Swarm, kind of to level things out. So there's no family relationship when they're competing against each other.
Miles Jones gets his first shot of the campaign. And that'll take us to our first break. 9:46 mark, first quarter. The Riptide lead 1-0 on the road. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on VR Live. Fans, if you love the National Lacrosse League, you'll love all the highlights on our social channels. Get the best goals, saves, and action during the games and during the week on Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and at NLL.com. Back here at Sting City in Metro Atlanta. We're in the northeast portion of the Metroplex, Duluth to be precise. Harrah's Cherokee Casino floor at Infinite Energy Arena, the building affectionately known as Sting City. Brandon Joseph, the man to my left, tapping the Turner down on the floor with us today. I'm Chris Mooneyham. 1-0, the New York Riptide lead the Georgia Swarm. In the second game to face off on a very busy weekend in the National Lacrosse League. You're going to have some real shuffling inside of the standings this weekend. Shot on top of Bouquet, makes an acrobatic save. Ball still loose, picked up by the Riptide. They come out on transition, bit of an errant pass, going to allow the Swarm to corral it and reset things.
Yeah, all things considered, the New York Riptide has had problems moving the ball up the field, but when they're able to settle it down in the attacking third, they've had some nice runs, some nice looks, but just getting there, the Swarmers have the distinct advantage, and it's just not showing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, all in all, though, this has been a Riptide first quarter, and it cannot be understated. how big it is, or overstated, I beg your pardon, how big it is that we're just at 1-0. Oh, a wide open miss.
Yeah,
An absolute wide open miss, Andrew Suter.
trouble getting back defensively for the Georgia Swarm. Left 4 men out on the field defensively, and Poulin had to come up to try to take away an angle. Ended up being a pass in an empty cage and just a missed shot.
Yeah, and I beg your pardon, that was actually Gail Thorpe. Gail Thorpe who missed that open netter. Remember, the Riptide this season being outscored 37-19 first quarters this year. Breakaway, chance to level. McIntosh has it, knocked out of his cradle. Oh, he had it. He was rocking it back and forth, and it was tipped out of his stick at the very last moment.
Yeah, great job by Dan Lomas in the transition game, knocking that ball out of the cradle of McIntosh.
Here's Zach Miller. Our first look up close at Miller. Technically a rookie, played 1 ball game last year for San Diego in their inaugural affair. Man alive, has he been good since he was activated for the Georgia Swarm.
And he's only going to get better as he gets more reps on the field.
Oh, you got that right. 3 in blue. Zed Williams at the point. Underhanded screamer! A ground ball that left a mark on the Harrah's Cherokee Casino floor. And it levels us at 1.
Yeah, a worm burner from Zed Williams. That thing didn't get more than, what, 4 inches off the turf and just goes 5-hole on Alex Bouquet. Great job by Zed Williams from distance with pace. See, that comes around. Screenshot, Bouquet never saw it. Just goes right in between the wickets and then the back of the nets, and the Georgia Swarm equalize at 1.
The first wickets reference of the evening for Brandon Joseph. Whomever had 7:33 of the first quarter, you win the pool. Zed Williams, a third-year man, number 4 overall selection back in 2017, has just collected his 8th goal of the year. Look at the physicality. And the loose ball picked up by the Riptide.
What were the Bet MGM odds on me saying wickets?
Well, the bet of you saying it was good. It was just a matter of when would it be delivered, I think. 7:33 of the first quarter. So 1-1.
Great job
rich of a pass.
of getting that stick up and deflecting it was the captain, Jordan McIntosh.
A little too rich, though, right, Brandon? Too much traffic, you think?
Yeah, they're very wishful passing across the face of the Swarm defense, and looks like we're going to get a legal cross-check from behind on Brendan Bomberry.
Just something about having his kid on the floor. Brings out the physical play for Mr. Bomberry. So he'll go to the box for 2 minutes. And the power play will unfold for the Riptide. Again, this year, not too bad. Poulin makes a big-time save, especially when you consider their lack of scoring. Talking about New York, 9 goals per ball game, 8th in the league in the power play out of the clubs. You get a great shot of Poulin here. Mike, one of the best in league history. Work around.
Yeah, Mike Poulin, one of the most vocal guys on the floor in that goalie position. Get to hear him directing traffic in front of him, ordering those clear sight lines with a man down.
Swarm been good on the penalty kill this year. Matter of fact, one of the best in the league, number 4 in the league on the penalty kill. Part of that reason, so good offensively, so deft in the passing game that they're able to make sure to drain the shot clock when they get the ball back shorthanded.
Outlet pass.
Oh my.
And this is where the Riptide have to capitalize on these opportunities. Not the best.
Oh, what a gorgeous pass from Mac. He was able to hit Chad Tutton just really quick. Sorry, Brandon, go ahead.
Not the best power play so far for the New York Riptide, and they actually outscored the Georgia Swarm on the power play. 17 power play goals for the Riptide, 16 for the Swarm, and that's what keeps them close, keeps them in games, these opportunities. But as the power play has 12 seconds left to go, as you can see on your screen if you're watching on BR Live, not a real effective power play, not a lot of threats towards Mike Poulin.
Now, part of the problem on the power play this year has been part of the struggles for the Riptide in totality. They struggled in the passing game a little bit. Offensively, careening in on Bouquet. Look at that athletic effort come flying in. That was Zed Williams. The power play is over now. Big loose ball picked up.
Midfield game failing the New York Riptide right now. A lot of errant passes, especially coming through the midfield.
Got it! Zed Williams. Number 2 for Big Zed. And it's 2-1 Georgia, 4:35 first quarter in Atlanta.
Kind of fitting, it's Valentine's Day weekend. The sweet romanticism from Zed Williams across the face of Alex Bouquet with the dive, Superman style, going right back short side on Alex Bouquet. Zed Williams with the classic goal.
The goal dance out at Sting City. Now wait a minute, was that Shane Jackson? It was Zed. Okay, great. I'm going to make sure I've got that right. So number 2 on the evening for Zed Williams. Last year, 22 goals and 23 assists in his breakout year. Now on 9 and 7. 7 games into the season. That'll take us to our second break of the ball game. 4:34 mark here in the first quarter in Atlanta, where the Georgia Swarm lead the New York Riptide 2-1. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on BR Live.
Welcome back, where the Swarm have an early 2-1 lead. Coach, Zed Williams got the offense going with 2 back-to-back goals. What went well on those offensive plays?
Well, Zed's a really difficult guy for the teams to guard because he's got a really hard shot from outside and really powerful inside. And he used both of those assets to get those goals, and we need a spark for our offense.
Thanks, Coach. Guys.
All right, thanks a lot, Tabitha. He's also 6'2", 185. He can move very well laterally, has great vision. Zed Williams has the potential to be I believe, a 35-goal scorer in this league. I really believe that.
And Coach was spot on. Just take a look at the differences in the 2 goals that he scored. Using the athletic ability to lay out and get the goal, and then the worm burner that got the Swarm on the board for their first goal of the contest.
Tyson Gibson has it down here on the near portion of your screen, now working around to the top.
A lot of off-ball movement for the Riptide. They're trying to create those opportunities, force the Swarm players to communicate defensively and hope for a lapse. That's not the right time to change.
Yes, indeed. Bunbury tries to go around. Now the give off. Oh, boy, that would have been a golden pass, but a bit behind his intended man. And so the Swarm will slow down and reset things. Again, thanks for joining us on BR Live, no matter how or where you may be joining us this evening. And for those of you joining us on the radio in Atlanta on the Fan 680, 93.7 FM. Oh, my.
And that's going to be an illegal check from behind.
Randy Stotts, it was sent into the boards, and the shot was delivered by John Wagner.
Not enough to garner a penalty.
Loose ball traffic picked up by the Riptide.
Great job of continuing the pressure was Zed Williams. Made the Riptide player hold the pass and didn't allow a transition.
Focus. Black! We're gone.
Chance at a loose ball here near the midfield stripe. Now, Riptide got off to a really good offensive start. They were playing crisp. They were connecting on a few passes, and then we commented as the passes started to become a little more errant, and all of a sudden they look a little disjointed.
Yeah,
whereas Georgia's starting to come together a little more.
They've lost the middle of the field, and that's really affected them on both sides, offensively and defensively. Trouble getting back off the field to get the defenders on. Trouble's getting on the field and trying to run their offense.
Bouquet makes the save with his right big toe on Randy Stotts. Well, a really funny history for Alex Bouquet versus the Georgia Swarm. He's had some good ball games where he's ended up with losses, and he's had, frankly, and I don't mean this to be critical, he's had some bad ball games where he's ended up with wins. It's been a funny history for Bouquet against the Georgia Swarm.
Yeah, sometimes in life you got to be fortunate and good, and there's been a lot of that for Alex Bouquet when he's been good. Sometimes he's just not as fortunate, but sometimes when he's played poorly, the team has been very good in getting him victories.
Well, he only gave up 9 goals to Georgia last year in one of the 2 appearances he had against them. He lost that one. Makes a save with his right shoulder. Jordan Hall picks up the loose ball, and his pass is intercepted.
Heads up.
Well, a tremendous move there by Gibson on Chad Tutton. Shot a little bit late, but a nice individual effort. Nice to get our first look at Tyson Gibson, who, of course, Brandon, was a #1 overall selection in last year's draft. The kid out of Robert Morris leads #2, to be precise, in the league in points and goals scored. Got a couple of hat tricks so far this year. Intercepted. 2-on-1. Pull-in wall comes up big once again.
Let's go! Let's go!
And they're going to pull him for the final 25 seconds of this first quarter.
Yeah, great job by Mike Poulin defending 2 shots there. Miles Thompson did just enough in that transition game trying to hang with the breakaway Riptide player. Poulin did a great job of forcing the first shot to his chest and then finding the ball off the rebound.
Stott shot. Second opportunity, saved by Bouquet. He'll try to heave one down the floor on the last second, and he cannot connect. And so that'll take us to the end of the first quarter here in Atlanta. It's been a defensive affair, to say the least. 2-1 Georgia out in front of New York. Both Bouquet and the Poulin Wall have been good here tonight. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on BR Live.
Good talk. It hit something. Wait, coming down the alley on the power play?
The center one from the left shooter.
Yeah, it hit something, I thought. Well, did he pull his short side?
Yeah.
I went like that, and I thought it hit me over here, and I assumed it.
You're like right there.
I assumed it hit like someone else's stick. You know what? I'm just gonna act like that's what happened. Good goalie.
In LL Wire, there you got a good listen, I beg your pardon, of Mike Poulin, one of the great keepers in the league today. Re-signed a 3-year deal at the start of the season, his 15th year in the league, the 2012 goaltender of the year. Back in 2018, had one of the great seasons in league history. What I guess at the time was what, #2 or #3 as far as saves in a given season. Now that number's been dumped down to 6, by the way, but just the same, one of the great years in this league's history. And of course, he's a 2-time champion as well. Point blank range, Bouquet. Well, I want to give Bouquet credit for the save, but it hit off the crossbar. Stotts still behind the iron. Gonna work around. Randy being checked. This is Lyle. Underhand shot, no good. Oh, look at that pickup by Hall off the board. Tries to find Lyle streaking in. Still loose. Jordan Hall has it back. He's checked on the board. Gonna try for the dunk shot. He's got it. He's got it. Jordan Hall goes flying through the air, comes around from back behind Bouquet, and comes in with a dunk shot. It's 3-1 Georgia.
Who says the dunk contest is overrated? Jordan Hall, I think that may win any sports dunk contest tonight around the back, and that started with a great play by Hall to get that rebound, keep the offensive possession alive, and went around and behind, and Alex Bouquet doesn't have eyes in the back of his head, and Jordan Hall gets it to the back of the net and on the scoreboard.
That is goal number 8 of the year for Jordan Hall, the Surrey, British Columbia man. That'll push him up to 34 points in totality on the season.
And the challenge flag has been thrown on the field by Reggie Thorpe. And we will have a review of the goal, and you'll
After your head was
hear it
down,
here with NLL Wired.
You're after the hand was down. We had more than 2 replays. His hand was down.
They will not even review it. They said what he was trying to review was already determined by the replay coordinator.
So Hall does, in fact, tally his 8th goal of the 2019-2020 campaign. Georgia now out in front on a 3-1 lead. Look at the physicality in the middle. Trying to simply stay alive there is Joel White. He'll get out of the pack and do just that, and then as he tries to dump it off before he hits the bench, his pass is intercepted by Jean-Luc Chetner. Chetner pushing in, give off to a teammate, streak on Bouquet, shot off to his right. Goes out of bounds, and the Swarm will now have it back.
A lot of physicality off of that possession. They're really embracing the Long Island lifestyle there, the New York Riptide, with a lot of physicality right off of that possession. You can tell that they do not want to get any further behind. They realize this is the opportunity, this is the puke point for them to stay in this contest.
Still working on the tans, however. Thompson! No, that's Zach Miller. I beg your pardon. Zach Miller comes flying in, receives a beauty of a pass at point-blank range, and he's able to catch and shoot all in one fluid motion on top of Bouquet. It's a 3-goal run for the Georgia Swarm. Mark that, a 4-goal run for the Georgia Swarm. And now they lead 4-1 at 13:26 of the second quarter.
Yeah, Kieran McCardle looks like the defender that got left on the island. When you're worried about that physical game, you start to lose track of the players that you need to be marking. Zach Miller comes unmarked off of the physicality, the help side by the Riptide defense, and then Zach Miller unabated to the goal, gets it in the back of the net.
Now, we talked about Zach Miller earlier, a rookie who was acquired from San Diego for a second-round pick in this past draft. Had 2 assists in San Diego's inaugural ball game before becoming injured. Missed the rest of the year. That's his 5th goal of the 2019-2020 campaign. Kid who played his collegiate days at the University of Denver, and he had himself quite the career.
Another shot off the pike for the Riptide. That's been at least 2 of them in this quarter that have gotten past Poulin, only to be stopped by Metal.
Oh, nice catch, bounce shot. And that'll end the 4-goal run. Riptide on the board, and it's delivered home by Tyler Digby. Digby's 2nd of the campaign, number 11 on the year.
Yes.
Mark that, 14 on the year, I beg your pardon.
2nd goal of the game for Digby. Just a nice little 2-man game. They had 2-on-1. You see that one defender left on the island. Poulin just had to guess. They forced pass. That's what you want to do. And McSpadgen was the defender left out on that island, forced the pass. Poulin was playing the shot and just got beat off the pass.
Digby, 6'3", 277-pounder, moves pretty well. Right-handed forward from British Columbia. 38 goals, his career high back in 2015. Sellers and the Swarm win the faceoff. Up 4-2 at the 12:40 mark of the second quarter. Zed Williams tries to work around a screen. Give up to Bomberry. Bomberry catches and shoots, and it'll come up empty.
One of the best possessions that you may not see result in a goal there. Zed Williams broke the ankles of the high defender, and it does result in a goal. Miles Thompson.
The goal dances out as Miles Thompson collects his 11th tally of the season. We'll get a replay of it.
Yeah, Miles Thompson just shows past John Wagner, stepped up to try to play the stick of Miles Thompson for the pass, and then just a bunch of confusion. Bouquet looking pass also, and then Miles Thompson just goes around the long way, it looks like, from our vantage point up here. Looking at our replay monitor, went the long way around Alex Bouquet.
Offense starting to open up a little bit for both of these clubs now.
Physicality is not working out for the Riptide strong suit. It was Dan McCray that tried to get physical, and Zed Williams ended up with the little ankle breaker. Shot attempt by Bomberry ends up getting rebounded by the Swarm, and that led directly to the goal.
Once again, that goal just a few moments ago, number 11 of the year for Miles Thompson. Went for 23 goals and 20 assists last year. Poulin-Wall comes up with another big save. He'll now try to send it forward. And instead, Zed will make the catch and slow things down a little bit. Riptide able to get through the transition, get the defensive men on.
Still trying that physical game up top between McCray and Zach Miller.
Stotts to Lyle. Lyle will wind up, shoot, get his own rebound. And another save for Bouquet.
And you could see it if you're watching on BR Live. That physical nature of McCray and Zach Miller is leaving that middle wide open for the Georgia Swarm just to fill. So they're using the New York Riptide's physicality against them to exploit them offensively scheme-wise.
Speaking of physicality at point-blank range. Shot blocked. Jordan McIntosh comes up with a block on Connor Kelly. Oh, what a great idea. McIntosh couldn't quite make the catch. And so the Riptide will pull up, pick up the loose ball and send it forward. Miles Jones had it for the moment, give up to Jean-Luc Chetner. Digby.
Interception up high.
And a breakaway. 1-on-1. Jason Noble, the 2017 Defensive Player of the Year, comes away with an interception and a breakaway goal. A highlight reel type play to put the Swarm up 6-2.
Yeah, Jason Noble with the getaway speed and just steps and fires right past the earlobe of Alex Bouquet. Great job by Noble. Kind of baited in the trailing defender of Dan Lomas, then accelerated away, finding that extra gear. And then the fire in step, in stride, gets in the back of the net.
I tell you what, for all you die-hard National Lacrosse League fans out there, remember Jason Noble was a number 2, wasn't he a number 2 overall draft pick back in 2013? My goodness, that seems like eons ago, doesn't it?
Almost a decade.
That's some good math. That's why you're one of the best in the business right there. 6-2 Georgia now. Thompson winds up and scores! Lyle Thompson from the point. It's 7-2 and the scoring run is now on for the Georgia Swarm.
Beautiful offensive possession by the Georgia Swarm. New York Riptide just had no clue defensively. Everybody's selling out the stop ball. And that just leaves a wide open look from the GOAT. Happy Valentine's Day. And we have a goalie change. Alex Bouquet is gonna see the bench for the rest of this contest, or at least this period. And we have an appearance from Goa Abrams. They come in, he will be the backup goalie who takes over in between the pipes.
Let's clean up a little bit of business here, by the way. Jason Noble, that goal a few moments ago was his second of the 1920 season. The goal just a moment ago for Lyle Thompson, one of the great players in our game today, field or floor. That was number 17 of his season to go along with 19 assists. So already 36 points on the year for Lyle Thompson. The assist, by the way, Shane Jackson is starting to rack up some points yet again here tonight, goal or otherwise. It is now 7-2, Georgia out in front of New York here in Atlanta. Pass a little too rich for Randy Stotts, and here come the Riptide on a break. Push forward, 3-1 on top of Poulin. 30 able to fill the lane and keep the shot errant. That was John Ranigan looking to score back here in Atlanta. Ranigan, of course, was a favorite, and I mean a real favorite from his time in the blue and yellow for the Georgia Swarm. A lot of guys for the Georgia Swarm happy to see Ranigan back here in town. Stotts has his shot altered.
And Goa Abrams, 6'4", 260. He's not small by any measures, but he is small compared to his net-minding teammate, Alex Bouquet.
I knew where you were going.
332. But that changes how the Swarm approach this because there is such a difference height and size-wise.
They also have Angus Goodleaf on their in the organization. Is he on the PUP list? Is
Yeah,
that right? Do you remember off the top of your head? I think he's on the physically unable to perform list if memory serves. Swarm pick it off, and they'll push. McSpadgen, not this time. Ryan McSpadgen was looking for his first National Lacrosse League goal, 77. Now check that. Is that Adam Wiedemann? I beg your pardon, I believe that was Wiedemann.
And that shot was not stopped by Abrams. That was actually stopped by the head of Cody Razowitz. Great job of using his noggin.
2-7 instead of 7-7. 10 on the shot clock. With another save, this time on Kieran McCardle.
He's going to be very beneficial as we get a block from behind. And we get this timeout. Goer Abrams is going to be able to regroup and get on the sideline.
TV timeout in Atlanta, where the Georgia Swarm lead the New York Riptide 7-2. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on BR Live.
Welcome back with the score 7-2. Coach, after your team got off to a quick start, things have kind of slowed down a bit. How would you assess your team's play so far?
You know, we let some goals in on the defensive end, and we're not scoring on offense. So we got to get that balance of getting stops and getting some goals.
Thanks, Coach. Guys.
Next weekend, the National Lacrosse League Game of the Week moves to Halifax as Cody Jamieson and the Thunderbirds welcome Dan Dawson and The Rock to Scotiabank Center. Catch all the action on BR Live, Twitter, and Facebook starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Right now, Halifax playing a big ball game against Saskatchewan, the #1 team from the Western Division. And at last check, Saskatchewan own an 11-3 lead on Halifax. That'll be a score that'll send some shockwaves throughout the league. 11-3 at last check.
The Rush may be the best team out in the West.
Yeah.
Get out. Original foul was on white #1, minor penalty, goal interference. Follow-up penalties on 45, Georgia, minor penalty, roughing. 5-on-5, New York ball.
So we'll have two offsetting penalties. The initial contact made on Mike Poulin results in a goalie interference. That was Connor Kelly, and then Jason Noble doesn't like his goalie getting interfered with, so he roughs up.
Imagine.
Connor Kelly in defense of his goalie, which teams will love. Every coach will take that penalty every time, so it'll be offsetting. They'll keep it 5-on-5. Those two players will just enjoy a nice little break for 2 minutes plus whatever time it takes to get to stoppage after that.
Another misconnection on a pass. A lot of cross-floor passes for the Riptide, as opposed to within close contact, multiple passes.
Well, and the fact that these cross-floor passes, these switching of the field from the Riptide aren't successful, they're leading into these odd man rushes. They're leading into these transitional opportunities for the Georgia Swarm, and that's exactly how Jason Noble got an interception right there. These errant passes from the Riptides they're undoing right now.
Leads to another one-on-one and a Georgia goal! This time it's Alex Krepensek. Krepensek was a Minnesota draftee back in 2013, and the Oakville, Ontario man has his first goal of the 2019-2020 campaign.
Yeah, interception by Jordan McIntosh, the captain, up to Krepensek, and what a bad pass. Jameis Winston thinks that's a bad pass across the field, and it results in points for the Georgia Swarm. 5-hole on Goa Abrams, so the more things change as in the goalie for the New York Riptide, the more they stay the same.
Could be a very big weekend for the Georgia Swarm if they can win here tonight. Philadelphia will play a back-to-back tonight and tomorrow. They got Buffalo tonight. Who does Philly have tomorrow night? Do you remember? Don't be afraid to say you can't remember, because I can't either. I'm asking you. Thank you. It is New England. That's right. Oh, that's right. Exactly right. And that's why it could be a big weekend for them. If Philadelphia can knock off New England, there is a chance that Georgia could move into first place in the East, at least percentage point wise.
We have a crease violation giving the ball back to the Riptide, and we have Randy Stott's shoe just loose on the floor. That's being collected and tossed over to Randy Stotts. Great catch in his cradle.
Oh boy, look at this physicality.
And we get an illegal block, which will turn the ball over to the Swarm.
McIntosh, the captain, a bounce shot and a score. The Swarm are trying to pull away in Atlanta. Once again, cueing the goal dance. It's 9-2.
Yeah, and off of that penalty, giving the Swarm back the ball with the advantage, Jordan McIntosh gets the assist from Ryan McSpadgen. And just again, 5-hole on the keeper, Goa Abrams. Just look at that shot. Jordan McIntosh clear by 5 steps. And the Swarm just running away with it.
Ryan McSpadgen, by the way, getting a lot more playing time over the last few weeks, Brandon Joseph. We'll have to mark that, keep track of it, and dive deep into it with the coaching staff over the next few weeks. Meanwhile, Jordan McIntosh, what an underrated career. My goodness, I'll say it just about every time I can. 2-time NLL Transition Player of the Year, now in his 9th year. He was the 4th overall pick back in 2011. 26 goals last year, 121 loose balls, and now for Jordan McIntosh, the captain, that is goal number 2 of this 19-20 campaign. Great pass ahead to Miles Jones. Jones going to try to break through. Look for his first NLL goal of his career. He gets sealed out. He's a big-bodied guy. He's awfully athletic. But can he have the space he needs in the indoor game to move around, use his athleticism? We know what Mark Zinno thinks about him because Mark gave us a tutorial before the ball game today. And that's where I'll leave it, but you take it from here.
He's going to be a good player. Miles Jones is going to evolve into this indoor game, but he ran out of gas at about 3 steps away from the crease and just didn't know what to do. He's learning the indoor game. It's very different fundamentally than the outdoor game, and he's having a tough go of it in his second appearance for the Riptide.
Lyle with the scoop up, 7 on the shot clock, by the way, so they're going to have to move with haste. Look at this pass, and that one gets through traffic, and Goa Abrams, very lucky that he was standing in the position he was. That was barely a save, if at all. That one just kind of clicked off of his right shoulder pad. 9-2, Georgia on a scoring run. They lead the New York Riptide at 4:48 of the second quarter on BR Live. Back at Sting City, coming up on NLL at the half. Highlights and analysis of the first half. And, of course, a look around the league as well. All that and more coming up at the half on BR Live. NLL at the half. 6-goal run for the Georgia Swarm. Once a 3-2 Swarm lead. Now at 4:48 of this second quarter, it's a 9-2 game. The Swarm turning the offense on.
Yeah, they're just having their way with everything they want to do, and it starts in the transition game, getting out and then attacking whoever the keeper has been for the New York Riptide. It has not been a fun game defensively for this expansion franchise, and it really shows that you need to play well in all facets because they do have an impact on how they relate to the other facets. They've played so poorly in the transition game. It's affected them both offensively and defensively.
This was also a 1-0 Riptide game at one point. They scored 3:28 into the affair to take the lead. Georgia did not tally their first score of the ball game until 7 minutes into the ball game. Work around Stotts, has it come loose. Just about everybody, as far as the big name men for the Swarm in this ball game, have come up with at least an assist in the affair offensively. Stotts. Meanwhile, obviously been a quiet offensive game for the Riptide in totality, especially Kieran McCardle, who's had a good year for this club. I've only mentioned him a couple of times in the ball game so far.
And then 10 seconds, Miles Jones could not bring the ball past midfield again. Still learning the indoor game.
Miles Jones, who of course was an incredibly highly decorated collegiate player, for those of you unaware. His days at Duke University, that one is back behind the net, on top of the net. Miles Jones, a man we've been talking about, 15 in white, 2-time national champion at Duke, 3-time All-American. First midfielder in NCAA history with 100 goals and 100 assists. But it's a little bit different. Box lacrosse. Signed him to the squad back in January. I believe this is his 3rd ball game. 5 or 6 loose balls entering the affair. No tallies offensively otherwise. Thorpe had it at the top. They'll walk around offensively. Got a man at point-blank range. Poulin gonna get down on top of one. Makes the save, and actually, shot clock may have run out before they had the opportunity. Fans, want to remind you to stay up to date on all the news, announcements, and exclusive prizes with the NLL newsletter. You can sign up now at NLL.com. 2.5 minutes from halftime. We've got ourselves a penalty, and it looks like most of the remaining time here of this first half, the Riptide will be sitting on the penalty, the power play, I beg your pardon, as Leo Sturris is headed to the box. Brandon, what did I miss?
2 minutes holding, Leo Sturris.
Thank you, sir. 1-man advantage for the Riptide. National Lacrosse League on BR Live. And if you're in Atlanta on the radio, 680 The Fan, 93.7 FM. Thanks for joining us, everybody. Riptide back in it. Now a 9-3 ball game on the power play goal.
Yeah, a shot on board from distance. Tyson Gibson gets the give just at the top. Comes across the face, screened off. Mike Poulin was. And you can see on this replay, just comes right over the top. Didn't even use the screen completely to get the shot on Poulin.
His first of the evening, Tyson Gibson. 6'1", 181-pound right-hander. And the forward has just notched his 9th net tickler of the season. So 9-3. The power play obviously off on the 2-minute minor when the power play team scores a goal. So now we're back to even strength for all of you newbies out there. As we squirm past the 2-minute mark of this first half. Oh, look at that. No one came over defensively, and a very wise decision by the veteran Kieran McCardle to just go in on Poulin himself as he went threading the lane. He'll come up empty. Poulin makes the save. Swarm back down on the other end. Underhand, left hand, ripper. Adam Wiedemann.
Yeah, Adam Wiedemann from distance. Take a look at this replay. If you want to know what love is, there it is. Adam Wiedemann. Just a rip shot on the Riptide. I don't know. I'm good for one punt of replay.
Yeah, you got two, yeah.
I got out over my heels on that one.
Yes, you did.
But Adam Wiedemann just rips it right past Goa Abrams. And no matter who's in frame for the Riptide, they're just, the Swarm onslaught continues.
Adam Wiedemann with his 3rd goal of the 1920 campaign. Brandon with an attempt for 2 puns in 1 sentence. You got caught out on the island, maybe the Long Island, if you will. You won't? Okay.
That may be the pun of the game.
No, thanks. I'm not usually good for a good pun. 10-3 now, Georgia. Lyle sent to the floor, and he sends a screamer into the Patrons.
Well, that's not good form or friendship from teammates. John Rannigan laying out Miles Thompson.
Miles Thompson, thank you.
Second shot. It's the second shot. The first hit was legal, then he gave him one on the ground. He can't hit him on the ground. The first one was good.
Yeah, let's take a look at this replay. Like you heard the referee say, first shot from John Rannigan, fine. Then when Miles Thompson's on the ground, he gives him the business. And that's going to get him 2 minutes for a roughing minor.
Well, when he hit him the first time, he didn't have the chance to say hello. He had to get in
It was
closer.
hello, how you doing?
Right, he got in and he said, oh, hi, Miles. I didn't know that was you. So Rannigan heads to the bench for 2 minutes, or at least for 2 minutes scheduled. We'll see if Georgia can make it pay off. Save made by Abrams. A minute left in this first half, and of course the time will carry over if Georgia is unable to score on the power play. Well, they've been very good this year on said power play, number 4 in the league. They've scored 50% of the time, dead even 50% of the time this year with a man advantage. Final 40 Stotts. give off, bounce shot. Not this time for Jordan Hall. He'll get his own loose ball. Riptide packed in.
Swarm will have to keep Mike Poulin in. There's about a 5-second difference between shot clock, game clock.
Starts! Starts! Randy Stotts had 9 assists versus New York back on January 18th. That is tied for the National Lacrosse League high this year. He's come up with a goal right here on the power play, and Georgia now leads 11-3.
Yeah, Randy Stotts with the little pump fake. Got Andrew Suter elevated and then just went short side. Take a look at this replay if you're watching on BR Live. The little pump, Suter elevates, Randy Stotts pulls back and then releases. Rising fire, young man. And now the Swarm go up 11-3.
Randy Stotts entered the ball game, entered the weekend 13th in the league in points. That'll be his 10th goal of the campaign, to go along with his 28 assists, which was number 4 in the league.
That's the dumb penalty we don't need.
Timeout called on the floor.
You popped him on the ground. He's got the ball. Doesn't matter.
Still arguing about the Rannigan penalty.
A little bit of conversation there from Ryan Fournier, Mike Manley. Well, this is exactly what Georgia had to do. I mean no offense when I say this in regards to the Riptide. They believe they're turning the corner, and if you go back and watch some of the recent ball games, including, of course, against Georgia, where they scored 7 in the final frame to force overtime and eventually win that ball game, they played far better in the last, say, 4 ball games than they did their first 4 or 5. But Georgia fancies themselves as a world championship contender. This is the type of ball game that you have to turn in against a team like the New York Riptide. Fans, don't forget, coming up on NLL at the half, highlights and analysis of the first half, a look around the league as well, all that and more coming up at the half.
No, you're absolutely right with what the Swarm need to do. The New York Riptide, they're on pace for their average, 4 goals per game. They average 8.8 goals per game. They're roughly on pace. The Georgia Swarm has equaled their average at this point, 11.3 goals per game, 11.7, sorry, in the first half. This is everything they want to do, and if you continue doing this at least to start the third quarter, you feel really good about maybe getting Mike Poulin a little bit of a break, saving his body for later on the season.
Got a chance, and off to the left side of the pipes. Or the right side, I suppose, depending on your vantage point. So we make our way to the half at Sting City. The Infinite Energy Arena has a very happy home crowd inside of it. 11-3, the Swarm out in front. And let's go to Tabitha Turner here in just a moment. She'll be on the floor with Jason Noble. Tabitha.
Jason, the Swarm had 10 different players, including yourself, score in that first half. What went well in that half for you guys, and how can you continue it in the second?
I think we were moving the ball well offensively. When you got 8-0 guys like that, it's good. And then we're contributing through transition. We haven't had that the last couple of games. So I think playing good defense equates to good transition opportunities for us.
You had 2 goals yourself this game. Do you know how many you had all season?
I think
you tied it too.
Yeah, that's good.
Good luck in the second half, Jason. Guys.
Thank you, Tabby. Yeah, transition to be sure with 4 breakaway goals in the first half. To the half we go here in Atlanta, where the Georgia Swarm lead the New York Riptide 11-3. It's the National Lacrosse League on BR Live.
We are at halftime between the New York Riptide and the Georgia Swarm from Infinite Energy Arena in Duluth, Georgia. Welcome to NLL at the half. Hi, everybody. Once again, I'm Mark Zinno, my partner, former Swarm defender Drew Petkoff. Drew, Lyle Thompson, certainly a big part of what the Swarm do in every single game.
Absolutely, Mark. Lyle Thompson is such a dynamic threat for the Swarm. He scores goals, he sets up goals, he makes amazing passes, and he uses his athleticism. So when he's on point, when he's on his game, the whole team shines.
Well, we know what Lyle Thompson is like on the field, but not many people know what Lyle Thompson is like off the field.
Now I want to switch gears a little bit and talk about your roots, but off the floor, because before this interview, I was given a tip that I did not know that you're an artist. a really talented artist and you like to draw. Can you tell me more about that?
Yeah, I mean, I've been drawing my whole life. I think any artist or anyone who's passionate about arts does. Was never interested in school. You know, in classes I would sit there and doodle. And when I got to university, that was my major, was art. I didn't follow through with it just because of time management and things I had to balance when I was in college with having my kids and my wife and school and lacrosse. So there was a lot to balance and I didn't have the time for it. So I wish I did stick with it, but still to this day I still, you know, create logos, draw tattoos for people, and just doodle on my own time.
I know art takes time. Could you draw something for me right now? Because I brought a pad and a pen.
So I'm drawing. I'm trying to think of what I could draw.
Whatever comes to mind.
Let's see here. I like to draw a lot of cultural things. So like when it comes to like animals or feathers or trees, anything that ties into my culture, what I grew up respecting and a lot. So I guess I'll just draw a feather. Feathers are to us a form of, I guess spirit. You know what I mean? It came from something living, and that's part of our culture. Just like a lacrosse stick came from a tree, and that spirit, we try to carry that spirit within the stick, transfer from the tree to the stick, and we do that with a lot of things. You know, turtle rattles, different kind of hooves and leather, and you know, still to this day, our culture still practices those things, and really, it's really about not wasting.
This is a complete work? This is incredible.
I don't want to keep carrying it on.
I'm sure everyone at our NLL offices are going to be really excited to have this. All right. Cool. Thank you. And thank you for drawing. Appreciate it.
Welcome back to NLL at the half between the New York Riptide and the Georgia Swarm. And the Swarm have an 11-3 lead. Let's take a look around the league for week 12 in the NLL. Drew, as you can see, Saskatchewan, a late lead over Halifax, 14-8. Halifax, one of the better teams in the league. A tight game in Philadelphia at the half, low scoring as well, 4-2. The Vancouver Warriors and Toronto Rock are the NLL game of the week, a one-goal game there at halftime. And later on tonight, San Diego and Colorado. Look to Sunday, though. Philadelphia and New England will fight for supremacy atop of the Eastern Division, where the Swarm are right on their heels.
Yeah, and for those who are unaware, this is a great lineup of games just overall this week. Saskatchewan, Halifax. You know, I would say that Halifax is the best team in the league coming into this weekend, so to see them down by such a large score is very much a surprise to me. Now, that Philadelphia-Buffalo score is also a surprise because both teams have a lot of offensive firepower. And again, it's a great opportunity for the Swarm to make some ground up on New England and Philadelphia, who are both ahead of them in the standings.
Let's take a look at some highlights from this game where the Swarm had an 11-3 lead. And Tyler Digby does what Tyler Digby does for the Riptide as he nets 2 quick goals for them. 2 of their 3 came off the stick of their veteran. And the Swarm, well, they got 10 different players scoring goals, including a dunk shot from Jordan Hall and a dive shot from Zed Williams.
Yeah, and one of the things to highlight there is that all those shots are taken from just in front of the net, which allows the outside shots that we've seen go in. It allows them to be a bit more open. So,
an 11-3 lead for the Swarm. Back with the start of the third quarter. Coming up next, you're watching Georgia Swarm Lacrosse on CW 69.
The National Lacrosse League on BR Live is brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes can save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save today. Back on BR Live alongside Brandon Joseph, I'm Chris Mooney. Thanks for joining us, everybody. And for those of you joining us in the Metro Atlanta area on the radio, on the Fan 680, 93.7 FM. Don't forget, if you're in Atlanta, you can take us with you also on the Fan's 680 mobile app.
All right, time to take a look at our halftime statistics. Not a big surprise here. Georgia pulling away in the second quarter.
Yeah, Georgia Swarm just done a great job on the face-offs and controlling it and winning in that midfield transition game. Also the shots on goal, just a plethora of shots.
Stats brought to you by BetMGM. Now we'll head down to the floor with Tabitha Turner.
Miles, the Swarm have a pretty comfortable lead, but you guys have been here before against this very team a month ago. What needs to change in the second half?
Yeah, well, I think we got away from being physical in the first half. In the first quarter, we were very physical. We were banging them in the middle. I think we're going to start by doing that and then see where the chips lie.
Thanks, Miles. Good luck in the second half. Guys.
9 goals in the second quarter. 9 goals in the second quarter for the Georgia Swarm. That not a big surprise, as they have been absolutely dominant in the middle quarters this year. Georgia outscoring their opponents 46-33 in the middle quarter. So New York is going to have to come out in this third quarter if they want to try to get back into the ball game and play like they did very early in the affair to keep Georgia from truly running away in the ball game.
Well, what Miles Jones says is they want to be physical in the middle of the field, but that led to problems with them in the middle of the field. They have not been able to shore up anything in the middle of the field, especially with their passing through the middle of the field, their transition game, which has led to them failing to get guys off to play defense, to get guys on to start the offense. So before you think about doing anything versus the Swarm to stop them in the middle of the field, you need to take care of your own house.
2 minutes into the second quarter, it was a 3-2 ball game. New York Riptide led 1-0. It was a 3-goal run for the Swarm to get it to 3-1. Then it was 3-2 again 2 minutes into the second frame. And that's when Georgia went on an 8-1 scoring run. Big scores in this ball game so far. Well, that's the other big thing for Georgia. They have really been spreading the wealth in this ball game. Swarm with, let me make sure I've got this number right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 guys who have scored in the affair.
Yeah, very opportunistic from the Georgia Swarm. Any guy who sees the opportunity to take a shot, they're just telling them, fire away and let's see what happens. And it's paid dividends in this contest. Breakaway goals, screen goals, shots from distance. It's all been working for the Georgia Swarm tonight.
10 on the shot clock at the point. Stotts gives off to a teammate. Zed tries behind the net. Halden gave it off to Stotts. Randy came up empty, and here come the Riptide.
Switch!
Digby.
Yep. Loose! Loose!
Now you heard Mike Poulin there a moment ago directing traffic defensively. One of the great keepers in our game today, been around so long. It's great to get an inside look by our crews. Done such a great job tonight. Nice physicality. Hall loses. Loose ball heads over towards the board right in front of New York's bench. And it's picked up by a man in white. And now pushing. Andrew Suter had it for the moment. Leads the league in majors. Here's Gibson. Tyson, bottom side of your screen or left side of the field. Or the floor if you prefer. Fire. Poulin makes a save at chest level. And the Swarm have it back. Swarm have also done a good job on the face-off in the X tonight. I know a lot of people have mixed opinions on what it means to really win the face-off. Some people don't believe it's as critical a statistic as others do. Some say, well, no, it's not the biggest deal, but it still will garner you an extra possession here and there. Georgia have won that battle tonight.
New York, 81, 2 minutes, check from behind.
Looks like Ryan Fournier going to get hit with it. Fournier also came over from New England. Boy, a ton of New England players. Guys who were in Black Wolves uniforms last year in Riptide, white, blue, and orange this year. Fournier last year had 80 loose balls scooped up for New England. He's in the box on 2 minutes.
Man, this is not the way the New York Riptide really want to start the second half of play. Man down with the Swarm with an opportunity to stretch this lead almost to a point where it's insurmountable in the third quarter, and a bad pass across the defensive face from Jordan Hall.
Stay with the O! Good job, good job.
Shoot. Nice seal out. And great job by our crew who mic'd Mike Poulin, the pull-in wall, before the ball game today. Great opportunity there for Dan Lomas, who's having a career renaissance type season this year. Had 15 and 23 as a rookie, but only played in 5 games in each of the last 2 seasons. The Burlington man has 9 goals so far this year. He's bidding for number 10 just a moment ago, but Mike sealed off the zone. He was checked defensively. Now the Swarm have it back. 50 seconds remaining on the power play. Up 11-3. Nearly 4 minutes into the third quarter. Hall, give off. Shane Jackson comes up empty. What are you seeing, Brandon?
Great job by the Swarm to move the ball, get those second chance opportunities. They're getting very intelligent shots, but then closing out to get those rebounds, to get the reset of the shot clock. Another very good shot right on the keeper, Goa Abrams, and then they get the fresh 30, keep their offense out there, and now they're forcing, with 22 seconds left to go on this penalty, their defense from the New York Riptide to stay on the field, and that's tough for them to be perfect for this long. They're going to have an opportunity with 15 seconds left to go in this penalty.
Yeah, and I suppose we should mention it again, by the way, for those who may have joined us late on this Saturday evening. First of all, thanks for doing just that. No matter how or where you may be joining us on BR Live or The Fan, 680 and 93.7 on the radio in Atlanta, the power play does come to an end. So now we're back to full strength, and the shot clock has expired as well, so the Riptide are getting it back. Goa Abrams is between the pipes. Alex Bouquet was lifted in the second quarter in favor of Abrams in this ball game. NLL Wired, a little bit more of Mike Poulin.
Illegal block will make the turnover, go to the Georgia Swarm.
Miller. Oh, behind the back pass. Point blank and off the pipe. Randy Stotts, oh so close. Is that the second or third time that's happened to Randy in this ball game? Brandon?
Yeah, that's at least the second time. Another line hugger from Randy Stotts, and it just bounced out.
Poulin with the save. Tutton with a loose ball. Here comes Weedman. Adam with a tally in this ball game. Scored a goal in the second quarter. Lyle tries a spin move.
Gonna slow it down, wait for Miles to get on there. They're gonna start their offense now.
Look at that, Lyle was not ready. Brannigan tries for the loose ball. He's occupied by a Georgia Swarm player, and in the end it's picked up by a man in white. John Wagner was Johnny on the spot. And so the Riptide will set up their offense. Connor Kelly. Kelly last week versus Calgary had 4 goals and an assist. 1 in white at the top. Oh, nice idea. But a great idea to disrupt the pass, Chad Tutton.
Extended action going. The last stoppage came right before media timeout, so they kept the play going. Now you're making these guys have to be crisp on their change, getting the defense back on for an extended period of time. That's why coaches love these media timeouts. Give them a chance to reset, refocus, and looks like almost gets through, but a great job of sitting on it.
Well, you read my mind. Did it not get through? As we near the 8-minute mark, we should be hitting a TV timeout here. Mike Poulin has been good here tonight. Georgia Swarm with an 11-3 lead on BR Live. Fans, don't forget next weekend the Toronto Rock head to Scotiabank Center to take on the Thunderbirds in an Alterna Cup matchup. Catch the action on BR Live starting at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Boy, I love that new initiative here in the league. The Alterna Cup adds a lot of flavor to the Canadian matchups.
Yeah, you just look at what they do in hockey with the Battle of Alberta between Calgary and Edmonton, and those Canadian teams, they take competition amongst themselves very seriously. So the Turner Cup, a very great idea by the National Lacrosse League.
Has a soccer flair too, doesn't it?
Yeah.
To have a cup inside of a season, much like what the NBA is thinking about doing in the ensuing seasons. Good physical play there, gets a Riptide, the rock back. 7:45 mark, point blank range. Poulin able to at least fill up a lane and make the shot from Tyler Digby a little more difficult. The pipe helped him out, break down on the other side. Goa does not face a shot. Instead, we're gonna have ourselves a crease violation.
Yeah, crease violation. I think they called it on Ryan McSpadgen. Comes up a little limpy as it gets back to the bench.
Trying to work around a screen. Dan Lomas got sealed out. Now Dan gonna decide to go in. Give off to a teammate. And they'll say that one must have kicked off the pipe. Well, that ball looked like it was in. Leo Sturris now. Sturris needs help. Tries to connect to Zed Williams. Pass a bit errant. Leo has it back. He's being checked by 2 defenders now.
But this challenge flag is on the floor from Reggie Thorpe, and yeah, it looked like it went in. Gail Thorpe, a lot like me on Valentine's Day, just left disappointed.
I've seen it. No, 100% sure.
All right, it's just ball crossing the goal line, so take a look. Hey, you saw it? You think it went in? Yeah. Should be a quick one.
That makes 2 of us.
Makes 3 of us.
Hey, how are you? Just give me one. Yeah. There should be one look at this. All right, give me a replay over top. Yeah, this should help. Oh,
Yep.
yeah, the Eagles landed. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Well, a great job by our crew. Hammond Reynolds, John Wilkerson, Scott Hammond, and our crew, the leaders of our production here for the BR Live broadcast, the CW broadcast. And now we'll get the official call coming up here in a moment.
You got to challenge that. I'm challenging it. After review, the ball completely crosses the goal line. You've got a good goal. The call in the field's overturned.
Great job of getting this camera in the basket prior to the broadcast, and look at this, it ends up helping the officials, and in the end helps the Riptide as well.
Yeah.
You and I saw it point blank. We both thought it was in.
Yeah, great job of laying out by Gail Thorpe to get it in the wraparound on Mike Poulin. And like you said, the great camera angle, the eagle lands, as you heard our referee so eloquently put on NLL Wired. And there was a conversation from Jordan McIntosh. Does Ed Cuomo want to challenge the footing of Gail Thorpe to make sure he didn't land in the crease? I'm not sure if they're talking about the time. The time has to be put back on the clock from when this goal took place, because game action did continue until they realized that the flag from Reggie Thorpe was thrown on the field.
At the 9th goal of the season for Gail Thorpe. Fans, don't forget to sign up for the National Lacrosse League newsletter. You can do so today by visiting NLL.com. So the 3-0 run for the Georgia Swarm comes to a close. It's now 11-4. Swarm out in front of the Riptide as we go careening into the 7-minute mark here in Metro Atlanta. From Harrah's Cherokee Casino floor, Sting City Infinite Energy Arena in Duluth, Georgia.
And the whole theory behind, maybe there was something Ed Cuomo wanted to challenge, whether Gail Thorpe stepped on the crease or landed in the crease before that ball crossed the plane officially. But at 11-3, now 11-4, it's not worth the challenge there, because if you need the timeout later on, then something has gone wrong with this team. So don't waste the time and the challenge here.
Zach Miller got 2 shots at it. After Shane Jackson was Johnny on the spot to pick up a loose ball, he could not convert. And now the Riptide have it back.
Swarm now trying to meet them before they even get into the attacking third.
Little indecision. And a good defensive seal out. Gibson has to give it up.
Great job of switching in the attacking zone from the Swarm. Forced that turnover. Krepensek is going to wait for help here.
Instead of attacking in and trying for another breakaway goal. Good job of getting back defensively for the Riptide.
Yeah, Krepensek thought he had a couple of steps on him, and then once he realized that he was not going to be free and clear, smart job of just pulling the reins up and waiting for offensive help to come in.
Even with this much time left in this ball game, at 5.5 minutes remaining third quarter at this point, the clock becomes your friend. Lyle Thompson has to put a shot on goal with 2 on the shot clock.
Not exactly.
Swarm will keep possession, by the way.
Not exactly the person you want to try that move with. If anybody knows the move of Lyle Thompson, it's John Rannigan taking that high screen, then doubling back. Rannigan played it perfectly.
Lyle tries to stutter step and a bounce shot. That one deflected as well. Keep possession. No reset of the shot clock, mark it at 15. Point blank range. Zed Williams made a catch and a shot, but he couldn't quite finish.
Yeah, Zed Williams ended up crossing himself up, not the goalie. Goa Abrams on that. Thought he could get Abrams to bite near side and go back across the body, but Abrams held firm. But what is this, the 5th possession from the Swarm? Off an attempt, and Rannigan runs down Lyle, forces the turnover.
No call. Clean defensive play, at least according to the official. Miles Jones is pushing in. He'll give off to a teammate. Try for the extra pass. Nothing doing there as Dan Lomas could not make the catch. And the Swarm had the loose ball back.
And as this game progresses further and further on, with the deficit being as much as it is for the New York Riptide, you can expect to see more Miles Jones trying to get his indoor sea legs under him. Lyle Thompson just missed that one from distance on Abram. Looked like that hit inside pipe and then bounced away.
Meanwhile, got to give you a really quick scoring update from across the league. Saskatchewan has given away that massive lead they had on Halifax. Well, not entirely. It's 15-14. Poulin makes the save in between his legs. Remember, that was once an 11-3 Saskatchewan lead. Now the Rush lead is down to 15-14 on Halifax late in the fourth quarter. We'll hit a break and come back with more scores. You're listening and watching the National Lacrosse League on BR Live. Back at Sting City, the fans inside of Sting City, and a happy crowd here tonight. We gave you a shot at the goal cam a few moments ago, and we mentioned the great job by our crew. This was part of the designed idea of John Arlotta and the Georgia Swarm as well, and then our crew able to kind of execute the thing and get it all going. What a great job for all parties involved. Fans also want to remind you to watch all the action from around the National Lacrosse League this season on BR Live. Choose an annual, monthly, or per game pass. For more information, visit NLL.com/BR Live. That way you can follow all the action and all the great comebacks that we're having across the league. Brandon, you gave me an update at the break. Halifax has now tied Saskatchewan in that ball game. They must be going absolutely nuts up in Halifax right now. That was once an 11-3 Saskatchewan lead, and now they are squared at 15 apiece.
That's a 12-4 run by my count.
What a great ball game that must be. Oh, wow, what a shot. Lyle Thompson on the scoreboard. Well, you cannot have a runaway Georgia Swarm victory without the great one getting a goal tally.
Yeah, you mentioned the word great right before this goal, and how great is Lyle Thompson. The piece de resistance from the GOAT. Lyle Thompson just makes it look so darn easy. I'm jealous, I'm envious. I want to be Lyle Thompson one day.
Now, but he doesn't have the crushed red velvet jacket like you do.
He could probably rock that better than I can.
Hey, I'm sure
that's
he could rock it.
That's how great Lyle Thompson is.
Well, I'm sure he could rock it, but let's not get crazy now. For Lyle Thompson, of course, that is goal number 18 of the year, his second tally in this ball game. That'll push him up to 37 points on the year. He entered this affair 15th in the league in points.
In fact, he can just take my jacket. I'm going to give it to him post-game.
So now a 12-4 ball game nearing the 3-minute mark of the third quarter. Toronto and Vancouver right now, the Rock with a 9-4 lead on the Warriors. And Philadelphia leads Buffalo 5-2 right now in upstate New York. That's a big ball game in the mess that is the East and the North. That's a big ball game for those two teams in their divisional standings.
And a big hit down on Adam Wiedemann is going to result in a penalty for Digby.
We don't need it. Right into the boards. New York 23 minor penalty boarding.
It will be a 2-minute minor on the BC man, the British Columbia man. Digby will ride the pine for a little bit. Wiedemann will make his way over to his bench. And now the Georgia Swarm a man up.
Yeah, Digby did not go in there with ill intentions. It's just that's the type of play they want away from the game, when you make contact with somebody and driving them into the board.
Still loose. Jordan Hall. Underhand shot. Abrams makes the save. That one kind of gets caught in his left thigh pad a little bit. His knee pad, I beg your pardon. Riptide have it back. Connor Kelly finds a little room.
Good job of taking contact by Kelly, and what a run!
Oh my! Short-handed goal for Connor Kelly. His second short-handed tally of the year. Now one short-handed goal to go with one short-handed assist. His 12th goal of the campaign. How about the year for Connor Kelly, by the way? In his second season last year in San Diego, 7 games, 9 goals and 8 assists. And again, this already his 12th goal of the year.
Yeah, Connor Kelly, you want to talk about those yards after contact? If this was a football game, he got met before midfield and fought his way through and able to get a shot on Poulin and find the back of the net. A great job by Connor Kelly.
First short-handed tally of this ball game for either club if you're keeping score. So 12-5 now, Georgia is out in front. Ranigan comes up with a loose ball, the former Swarm man. 6th year in the league, spent 3 seasons with the team, won a world title. 31 in white, now the Swarm have it back, of course.
Joe White with just a chop to knock it out of the stick of Ranigan.
These two guys know each other terribly well, of course. Oh boy, look at the attempt to the catch and shoot. That was a gorgeous pass by Stott. Shane just couldn't quite make the catch.
And all these goals, and Shane Jackson has not been invited to the party yet. You know he wants to get on there.
That's right, of course, Shane Jackson, for those of you unaware, with a hat trick in every game this year. A hat trick, I beg your pardon, in all 7 affairs entering tonight. I joked about it, a little tongue-in-cheek, during our pregame. I've been telling everybody during the offseason and when we started this year that Shane Jackson was going to have a breakout year. Now, in all seriousness, I did say that, but never did I think he would have this type of start to his season. Another goal for the Riptide. They've rolled off 2 in a row. That's going to be Dan Lomas this time. Lomas' second tally of the ball game by my count. That'll push him to 13 on the year.
The benefit of having a forward coming out of the penalty box in Tyler Digby. Tyler Digby gets the ball right off of the pass from Connor Kelly and then finds the streaking Dan Lomas. And that's what I mean by the benefit of having a forward come out of the penalty box. As soon as Digby came out of the penalty box, the Swarm defense had to account for him coming onto the floor. That allowed Dan Lomas to streak in behind and get a clean look on Mike Poulin. 2 defenders had to defend 3 Riptide offensive players.
Of course, the penalty is and has been over. Riptide were better on that penalty for the Swarm than the Swarm were, quite frankly.
Yeah, 1 shorty, and then the penalty, the expiring of the penalty led right to the opportunity to get the goal.
Final 20, and you can hear the crowd getting riled up in Metro Atlanta. Miller. That was Zach Miller, who was absolutely leveled when he put the shot on. And that'll bring us to the end of the third stanza. The Georgia Swarm 15 minutes away from win number 5 of the season. A 12-6 lead on the New York Riptide. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on BR Live. Fans, the Georgia Swarm's next home game, a special one. It is Ladies' Night at Harrah's Cherokee Casino Field at Infinite Energy Center in Duluth. Find out how you can win a $30,000 diamond at halftime, courtesy of Terra Fine Jewelry. While you watch the Georgia Swarm battle the NLL defending champions, the Calgary Roughnecks, in a Saturday, February 22nd showdown. To learn more about the annual diamond drop or to get your tickets, make sure to visit georgiaswarm.com/Ladies' Night today. Don't say anything, Brandon.
Hey, ladies!
I tried. I absolutely tried, folks.
Should have saved the red jacket for next week.
Yeah, you got that right. Back alongside Brandon Joseph and Tabitha Turner, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us, everybody, for the National Lacrosse League on BR Live. And for those of you in the Metro Atlanta area, joining us on the radio on The Fan, 680, 93.7 FM. Don't forget, if you about to head out and about, you want to take us with you for the fourth quarter, you can do so on the 680 The Fan mobile app. 12-6, the Georgia Swarm out in front of the New York Riptide as we make our way into this fourth quarter. A ball game that, quite frankly, the Georgia Swarm, well, I don't want to say it was a must-win, but when you're in a championship caliber squad, as Georgia fancies himself to be, you gotta win a ball game like this with some ease over an expansion side, even if that expansion side has already beaten you this year.
Yeah, and this was the bitter taste. Randy Stotts alluded to it pregame of having a bitter taste from the last contest that they played. They felt like they should have won that game. They felt like they let themselves get away from controlling the contest. And of course, it was the Gail Thorpe regulation goal and then the Dan McCray game winner in overtime that really shocked and stunned the Georgia Swarm. And they did a nice job of rebounding tonight.
That was a tremendous ball game where, of course, New York scored 7 times in the fourth quarter to force overtime. You mentioned the Thorpe equalizer at, what was it, about 1.7 remaining, I think is the exact number. Coach Cuomo and his staff, Coach Ladouceur and Ferris, they gave so much credit. Outlet pass. Gave so much credit to the highly decorated head coach for the New York Riptide, of course, Reggie Thorpe. Reggie Thorpe, who, of course, knows Ed Cuomo very, very well. We're going to have ourselves a penalty coming up here in a moment. We'll get back to NLL and BR Live Wired as we get the call. And I'll tell you a little story about Reggie Thorpe and Ed Cuomo coming up here in just a moment. First, let's get the call.
New York penalty number 31, illegal substitution.
So it's John Rannigan with the illegal substitution. Rannigan came off late, so the penalty would have to be served. Trying to sort this one out.
Reggie Thorpe, longtime Rochester Nighthawk, of course. He was the captain for that man. On the right, of course, Ed Cuomo in 2007 on the Rochester team when the Nighthawks won the World Championship. Coach Cuomo, I said, give me something on Thorpe before the ball game today when I met him in the hallway and had a little conversation with him. And what did he tell us, Brandon? He said, oh gosh, what can I tell you about Thorpe? One of the hardest working guys I've ever coached, one of the greatest guys I've ever coached, physical, one of the toughest guys I've ever coached. He was so tough, we had to talk him into putting on more pads during ball games. We had to talk him into putting on more pads. Ed Cuomo could not say enough good things about the New York Riptide head man, Reggie Thorpe.
Yeah, it's funny when you have to go check one of your players to make sure he's padded up for a game. It's a sign of toughness.
You know, no American has ever played more games. I did a little research here, and I started thinking, hold on a second. You know, no American has ever played more games in the National Lacrosse League than Reggie Thorpe.
Then ended up leading that Syracuse women's lacrosse team that play a very competitive game up there and play on a very historic field there. You look across at Syracuse is a big deal up there.
Still at 12-6. Now under the 12-minute mark of this fourth quarter.
Man down for the Riptide. Ranigan still in the penalty box off the illegal substitution for another 20 seconds.
New York is doing such a tremendous job on the kill tonight.
They play better with 4 guys on the field than 5. They may want to start the game a man down and see if that changes their fortune. Now they're pulling Goa Abrams for the delayed penalty coming up against the Swarm. Penalty will expire. Ranigan comes back on. So now, in a flip of a switch, New York has an advantage, and they'll look to try to nullify it here with a goal.
Steal. And a timeout called, I believe.
It'll be the penalty on the Swarm.
Ah, thank you.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Unsportsmanlike conduct, the call. 34 shots on goal for Georgia, by the way. I want to keep you updated with some of these numbers. And then the 12 goal tallies. 34 shots on with 12 goals scored. Meanwhile, for the Riptide, 23 shots on goal and the 6 tallies. 2-minute minor on Georgia. And so New York, a man up, down by 6. This ball game's not over. And now the Riptide have scored once again. And all of a sudden, it's a 5-goal game.
Yeah, Shane Jackson gets put in the box for 16 seconds for the unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. And then the Riptide just passing across. And that's the benefit of when they can complete that long pass, passing it through the defense, short-handed, not enough people to rotate over, and just a redirect by Dan Lomas to the back of the net before Poulin can adjust over to the other side. And as you mentioned, which was a huge lead, it was 11-4. Now
11-3. Not to be corrective, but just yeah.
Is now 12-7, and if you're Ed Cuomo, that's why you didn't challenge that diving goal earlier, because it was a small percentage of overturning that Gail Thorpe wraparound goal. So you keep the timeout in your back pocket, because if this gets any closer, the first thing you want to do is want to call a timeout and get this team refocused for the final push.
McCardle with the left hand, cannot connect. Wiedemann with defenders back, give off to a man dumping off the bench. That was Miller. This is McIntosh. And Jordan is denied by Abrams. That ball still loose and finally picked up by the Riptide.
Abrams doing a better job in this second half since he's come on.
Oh my.
And stopping those breakaways. He gave up 2 early, breakaway 5-hole. Now doing a good job of making that adjustment.
Bomberry. Give off to Miller once again. Miller tries to hit Tutton at close range. And Brennan has a loose ball picked back up.
For the Swarm, it's okay to slow it down. Try to get the best shot you can. You're 2 or 3 goals away from making this a point where they can't come back.
Randy Stotts with his second goal of the affair. 11 on the year now. 39 points on the campaign. Not bad to slow down the offense. This is not like going into a stall as far as like a football team trying to run out a playoff game or a game by just rushing the football all the time. In this sport, it's not bad to slow down and be deliberate and run the clock, because sometimes it can give you extra opportunities.
It's all about the end result, whether you're getting good shots on goals or goals like we saw here with Randy Stotts. And basically what the Swarm did, they played their same type of offense. They took Stotts, who spent the majority of the time on the field behind the net, facilitating back there, just moved them just in a straight line in front of the goalie, got a better look, and he was able just to fire it right past Go Abrams.
So that'll end a little run for the Riptide. on the 11th goal of the year, second of the ball game for Stotts, and then immediately New York comes right back down, and they will answer. Connor Kelly has now collected, I believe that'll be the hat trick for Kelly. It is certainly the second goal. We'll wait for the numbers to update here. And the Riptide back to within 5 once again at 9:08 remaining in the ball game, 13-8.
Yeah, Connor Kelly does not like easy goals. He likes goals where he has to fight through, get through that contact. And Wiedemann, you can see him drop the head on the replay on BR Live, actually raise it up to the ceiling of the building. He thought he played great defense, which he did. He got into the body, pushed Connor Kelly away, but he absorbed it, was able to turn and fire and get it past Poulin.
Second goal of the night for Kelly, 13th of the campaign to go along with 15 assists. So what a year for Connor Kelly. As they now move into the back half of their schedule, the Riptide, I mean. Of course, into this one at 1-8 on the year, sitting in last place in the East Division. Meanwhile, Georgia at 4-3, sitting in third in the East Division. But at this point, in the early going of the season, with all the bye weeks we've had, we're basically talking about percentage points. Mike Poulin comes up with a big save.
Great save by Poulin.
Yes, indeed. That'll send us to another TV timeout. 13-8. The Georgia Swarm lead the New York Riptide at the 8:25 mark remaining in the ball game. You're watching the National Lacrosse League on BR Live. Back in Sting City, Mike Poulin, one of the great ones in our league's history, has had a busy, busy night.
We were winning. Every loose ball, we were winning. Time slipped a bit. This is where we show up. This is our time.
Thanks for joining us back on BR Live and on the Fan 680 and 93.7 FM. Don't forget, fans, coming up on NLL Postgame Live. Highlights and analysis of tonight's game and a look at scores from across the league. All that and more coming up on NLL Postgame Live. Mark Zinno and Drew Petkoff will bring you the highlights, the totals, what has been a wild night across the league as well. I mean, an absolutely wild night. Lyle Thompson right out of the break. Still 8 minutes and change to go, but maybe, just maybe, that's the one that puts it away. It's 14-8, Georgia.
Yeah, Lyle Thompson, great job taking it. Hesitation, forces the defensive hand, and then goes in for the shot and just goes right in there, right in the elbow of the goal. Pinpoint accuracy from Lyle Thompson.
It's a hat trick tonight for one of the great players in our game today, the 2017 League MVP, the #1 overall selection from 2016, and the reigning two-time Sportsmanship in the League award winner. Again, a hat trick, and now 20 on the year for the great Lyle Thompson. 14-8. So now, big hill to climb if you're the Riptide. They've been climbing a hill since they were up 1-0. Miss pass, still loose. Wiedemann with the interception. You can hear Mike Poulin telling him to go, go, go.
Yeah, great job of the communication from Mike Poulin in net, helping the defenders figure out the rotation.
Oh, Jackson had it underneath his feet. It took a funny hop, and he lost track of it. It's picked up by the Riptide. Jones going to give it off to a teammate. Shot at point-blank range will not fall in for Rannigan. Poulin makes another tremendous save, and Georgia has it back. You'd expect Stotts to slow it down on the left side of the floor.
Yeah, if you can use up 20 or so seconds and still get a good shot, that's a good possession. Not a great pass by Randy Stotts over the head of Shane Jackson.
Here comes Wagner. John Wagner. Wagner's going to take this shot. It's a kick save and a beauty by Poulin off to his right. McCardle sweeps it out of midair. Riptide will keep possession and reset things.
Yeah, down by 6. You don't want to spend too much time. If you're the Riptide here trying to find an opportunity, you got to create that opportunity. You can't wait for that opportunity to find you.
Underhand worm burning type shot. Poulin's able to kick it away. He actually looks like he might be a little shaken. I wonder if that one caught his toe pad just right to kind of rock him a little bit. Drive in on top of him, try to give away. There's a behind the back pass and a nice one by Digby. Worked around, still inside. Digby now going to take the shot. It's off to the left of Poulin. It hits off the boards and it's picked out of midair by the captain, Jordan McIntosh.
Defensively, the Swarm, they're doing a great job. They don't want to get baited into creating a screen where Mike Poulin can't see the ball coming, so they're attacking the ball when they try to crash in towards Poulin, but when it's around the perimeter, they're just letting them have those clean looks because Poulin, they trust that Mike Poulin can make that save if there's no screen, if there's nothing preventing his eye line to the ball.
Down to 5.5 minutes remaining in this ball game. An intercepted pass. It's jostled loose. Randy Stotts has it back. Got a cutter coming in. Miles Thompson caught, shot, but Abrams made the save off the chest at point-blank range. Still a 6-goal lead.
Rannigan's, we're good. Good job, dude. Way to pick up, Bo.
Heard Mike Poulin call out Rannigan. Rannigan was the cut man coming across his face. Wanted to let his defenders know to watch that cutter with a quick redirect.
McCordle. Intercepted by Joel White. And he gets a hearty congratulations from his teammate Mike Poulin. Swarm on the verge of being able to put this one away, but now a massive turnover and intercepted pass.
Yeah, just eyeballed that pass the whole time. Just ended up putting it right in the cradle of Ryan Wagner.
Great job by the safety to read the eyes of the quarterback. Wait a minute. Well, you know what I mean.
Are we making another Jameis Winston joke?
No. You hammered Jameis Winston enough for both of us. Again, you're hearing the natural sound of Mike Poulin, who we have mic'd up tonight.
The pick, the toes, that play. Wow. We came all this way. We might as well.
Mike Poulin's chatter will take us to the break. We'll have a delayed penalty when we come back, by the way. 14-8, Swarm on top of the Riptide on BR Live. Back in Sting City in Metro Atlanta. And now, fans, it's time for the play of the game presented to you by Geico. In the words of Chick Hearn, slam dunk.
Yeah, Air Jordan. Oh. For the goal. How fitting.
Very nice.
On the night of the dunk contest, do we get a Jordan Hall dunk goal? The All-Star Game's in Chicago.
If I had known you were going to do that, I would have went with Wayne Laramie instead of Chick Hearn, but I didn't know.
Some great things write themselves.
Boy, we got to start rehearsing these terrible jokes, Brandon, so they'll seem even more cheesy to the people watching and listening at home. Inside the 4-minute mark remaining in this ball game, Riptide with possession. The New York Riptide, the expansion side here in 2019-20 inside of the National Lacrosse League. With one win on the campaign, a 1-8 mark, but that one win came against the Georgia Swarm a month ago up in the Nassau Coliseum. Georgia, meanwhile, at 4-3, started the season with consecutive wins, then lost 3 consecutive affairs. Since then, a 2-game winning streak over 2 of the best teams in the league on the road against New England and Philadelphia. And now tonight, in their return home ball game after a month either on the road or on the bye week, well, tonight they look to get to 5-3 and extend that winning streak to 3.
Great pass interception in the lane from Joel White. Another great play in the defensive zone from White. And as far as my bad jokes are concerned, yes, you probably get better jokes from Teddy Jenner, but is he wearing a red velvet jacket? Your move, Jenner, your move.
Nothing doing there for Poulin.
See if we can get their rotation back. And a great job by the Swarm on this penalty kill. Getting that rotation back towards the ball.
Final 20 of said penalty. Shot clock violation. And now surely the Swarm will run out the final 15 seconds of this penalty.
And because of the time differential, they can run this penalty out and still get a good offensive possession with Bomberry, who is a forward coming on the floor. It's a natural fit. High screen.
Thompson, it's rolling around down there. Gowa has no idea where it's at. And it's picked up by a man in white. He got completely bailed out. Randy Stotts was crawling around back behind the crease.
He wished he had a longer stick.
Just trying to reach it. If he was out in the field and he was playing in the middle and he had the long stick, maybe he could have gotten to it. But shot on top of Poulin. He'll get his right elbow out there and deflect the Dan Lomas shot. 6-goal game. Final 1:45 remaining. Another save for Poulin. McCardle picks up the loose ball.
And if New York wants this, they're going to need to pull their keeper. They're going to need to get some sort of an advantage.
And now they score. Well, that's exactly what they needed. They'll get one out of Kieran McCardle. Kieran's 4th season in the league. A lot of people up in Toronto felt like he didn't quite live up to what they wanted, but he's had a fine career. Now he gets new life in New York. He's averaged 38 points each of the last 3 seasons. That will be his 8th goal of the campaign. Check that, 9th goal of the campaign.
He's definitely going to be a piece for them as they move forward and round out this roster. And again, they're going to have to think about pulling Abrams here at a certain point. He's walking up towards the front part of his crease. I mean, this is a 5-goal game with under a minute about to be. You need to try to get the goal. If you want to try to win this, you need to pull them.
5-goal game, 14-9, 1:10 remaining. It might just be a little too, just a little too late for New York. Oh, an injury.
Yeah.
Gonna have to get rid of it.
That
finally does. Lomas's shot is saved.
That caught Gibson, looked like in the nether regions. Don't mean to laugh at his pain. We've all been there. It hurts. And under a minute left. Yeah, New York is basically conceding this contest.
Now we've got ourselves a tussle down here on the bottom side. It's Alex Woodall, the Annapolis, Maryland man. At 5'11", 230, he's won the 3rd most faceoffs in the league, and he's in a real tie-up.
They want to go. He wants to go.
That's Manley, I beg your pardon. It's Mike Manley, who's tied up with Brendan Bomberry. Now Manley, by the way, 6'2", 235 they got him listed at. I'm not so sure about there. It looks like he's still giving up some room to Bomberry.
Yeah, Manley just pinned up Bomberry against the boards and wouldn't let him go and basically pulled him to the ground. Really wanted to get his swerve on with Brendan Bomberry. That was a fight that it looked like it was a very one-sided fight from Manley. He really wanted to go for it. I guess when you're losing the game, you want to try to get some victory. So they try to get the post-game fight on. I don't know. I don't see anything, and we haven't seen anything throughout the course of the game that would have led to this being something we could have foreshadowed, but that's why I think Manley's the only one getting time in the box.
Well, we'll mark that one down and foreshadow it for the next time these two teams get together. Remember, this is, of course, the second of 3 meetings for the 2 teams here this year as division rivals. Final 30 seconds. Here in Metro Atlanta, the crowd will rise to their feet at the Infinite Energy Arena, Sting City in Duluth. A win that the Georgia Swarm absolutely had to have. And again, no offense intended towards New York. They believe they're turning the corner, and at times tonight they played pretty well. This will be another ball game that they'll have to build on, but tonight, Georgia kind of outclassed them.
Yeah, and this is the tale of 2 different franchises. One expected to contend for the championship, the other is the expansion teams who are trying to find their way.
14-9 ends up your final score here in Metro Atlanta. We'll head down to the floor here in just a few moments with Tabitha Turner. But the celebration is on in Sting City. Don't forget, this is the first of back-to-back home games for the Swarm. We'll be back with you next week when they take on the defending world champions from Calgary. So very critical 1 week stretch, 2 game stretch for the Georgia Swarm in building their season forward.
Yeah, got that huge win tonight. Split the season series against the Riptide, but racking up wins in the Eastern Division. Of course, we talked about it earlier with New England and Philadelphia each having their own interesting weekends. The Swarm could find themselves either percentage points in first place or out in the Eastern Division. As you see these two teams after the final meeting going through the handshake line. It's amazing how after rough, tough, and how they tumbled, they're able to put it to the side once that final horn blows, and the mutual respect from these two teams. And like we talked about with the Riptide, this will be our only time seeing them this year. Rannigan gets some love as he walks off the field in a place that he used to play, won a championship with, the Georgia Swarm. These guys are building something, and they have pieces there. Digby, McCardle, Dan Lomas, Gail Thorpe. They will be a contender in this Eastern Division.
Lyle Thompson now is making his way over to Tabitha Turner. We'll join them in just a few moments down on the floor. We talked about how big this ball game is. Of course, Philadelphia with 2 ball games coming up this weekend against Buffalo and New England. We're going to toss it now down to the floor in Tabitha Turner.
Well, Lau, the Swarm have been waiting for a whole month to avenge this loss tonight. You had a hat trick yourself. What was the difference between this game and the last one?
I mean, both games we came out with a lot of intensity and sort of let up at the halftime. The difference in this game was our gap was much bigger at halftime. We still have yet to put a full game together. So coaches are really stressing it, and as a team, we're trying to get more and more focused.
You guys had 10 different players score tonight, transition players, defensive players, offensive players. How did that help break down the Riptide's defense?
Momentum. It's a huge thing in this game. It's a game of runs, and when we can get some goals from our defensemen and transition guys, it's huge, and it brings a lot of energy.
Coach Camo stressed games of runs and ending those runs. The Riptide went on a bit of momentum, a little bit of run there in the third going into the fourth. What was the message in the huddle at that time to stop it?
It was just to regroup. Like I said, we still haven't put a full game together, and we're still focusing on that. Still, trying to go out every shift and stop those runs.
Great game tonight, Lau. Thank you, guys.
Fans, don't forget, if you're joining us on the Fan on 680, Chris Caldwell coming up with the post-game show, and we thank you for joining us tonight. Coming up on NLL Post-Game Live, highlights and analysis of tonight's game and a look at scores from across the league. All that and more coming up next with Mark Zinno and Drew Petkoff. For our entire crew here at Sting City, including Tabitha Turner and Brandon Joseph, I'm Chris Mooneyham. Thanks for joining us for another night of Georgia Swarm Lacrosse on BR Live.
Welcome back to BR Live, NLL Postgame Live. Here's the Georgia Swarm defeat the New York Riptide 14-9 alongside Drew Petkoff. I'm Mark Zinno. Drew, the Swarm jumped out early. Scored 11 goals in the first half of this game, and really, it was a defensive clampdown in the second half that spurred them onto this victory.
Yeah, what I really liked about the first half of this game is that the Swarm drove the net hard. One of the things that I think that when the Swarm struggle offensively, they don't get enough balls and enough bodies in front of the net, meaning they don't take enough shots from right in front of the net. Today, that wasn't the case.
Take a look around the NLL. See, 2 games headed to overtime. Saskatchewan and Halifax, Buffalo, and Philadelphia. Our NLL game of the week between Vancouver and Toronto. The Rock, a steady lead in that one, but we've seen big leads this week already disappear as Saskatchewan was up 14-8 in the fourth quarter, and it's gone. Of course, San Diego and Colorado later on this evening, and Philadelphia and New England tomorrow. And coming up here in just a moment, highlights of our game here between the Swarm and the Riptide. You see Zed Williams with a diving goal. He had 2 early goals for the Swarm. And after that, it was a bunch of different players scoring. As you see, defenseman Jason Noble on the breakaway. 3 or 4 different defensemen scored for the Swarm. And Lyle Thompson had a hat trick of his own.
Yeah, and I think, again, you know, all of these plays, one of the things that I see is the effort, the extra effort that the Swarm are putting in. That I'm not saying that they don't put effort into their games, but it looked like they went a little bit extra in all aspects all over the floor tonight.
Take a look at the final numbers. You see the Georgia Swarm double up in the score, but also have a big advantage in shots on goals, and that bore itself out in the final score.
Yeah, the shots on goal was a little bit closer, or sorry, it was a little bit more disparaging in the first half. The Riptide did a great job of closing that gap and did a great job of closing down on defense. So credit to them for trying to battle their way back in, but the Swarm had too big of a lead, as you heard Lyle Thompson say.
So our next broadcast for the Swarm, 1 week from tonight, right here at the Infinite Energy Arena. It'll be ladies' night, so make sure you guys come out and check that out as they welcome in the defending champion Calgary Roughnecks here to the state of Georgia. Once again, final score, the Georgia Swarm 14, the New York Riptide 9. For Drew Petkoff, I'm Mark Zinno. Thanks for watching BR Live. Have a great night, everybody.